Hi, I'm Lewis Thompson, and in the last few months I've been working on a new dynamic music system for media. It's based around the idea that each individual film viewer or video game player perceives what they're seeing on screen differently to one another. The system dynamically changes the soundtrack around this. By monitoring user heart rate, the system detects how emotionally invested the user is and attempts to match this with the intensity of the soundtrack in real time. For example, when watching a horror film, a user's heart rate might increase if they're subjected to their phobia, or if they notice something ominous in the background. This increase in heart rate will increase the music intensity. Theoretically, the system could actually strengthen the emotional connection between the user and the media, potentially resulting in a more enjoyable experience. Here's an example of the system in action. The user is watching a clip from The Descent, and the soundtrack's intensity is completely dictated by his heart rate. Notice how the music intensity increases in certain scenes. This is purely based off the user. Here's another example of the same user playing the video game Slender the 8 pages. Again, the soundtrack's tempo and intensity is based purely off the user's heart rate. So there you have it. Based on the experiments I've conducted, users generally seem to prefer the dynamic soundtracks over the linear ones. You can read up more about it in the linked dissertation. Anyway, let's go through how it works. So, this flight case contains all of the required resources: the Garmin heart rate monitor, the chest strap, a USB wireless signal receiver, and a USB stick containing all of the relevant applications. The first step to get the system working is to wear the heart rate monitor. A guide is available on the Garmin website. The signal is then wirelessly broadcast and picked up by this ANT+ USB receiver, which is then sent into the HRM-OSC application, which has been developed for the purpose of this project. This system inputs the heart rate readings, displays them, and then outputs them as an open sound control protocol. The OSC value is then inputted into the Unity game engine. The Unity project allows users to play the film or game, but more importantly processes the heart rate readings and links them to audio middleware software Wise using a real-time parameter control. However, before this, Unity averages out the heart rate to smooth any musical transitions, and also normalizes the heart rate so every user's base heart rate is lowered to a value of 0. Using Logic Pro, I composed 2 soundtracks for this project, one for the film and one for the game. Both soundtracks have been composed to be used dynamically in Wise, using the vertical layering method for the film clip and the horizontal resequencing method for the video game. I then handled all of the dynamic music in Wise. First, let's cover the film clip. There are 9 instrumental layers, varying from calm and eerie to hectic and intense. The real-time parameter control value is linked to the heart rate, and this controls the volume of each musical layer. These graphs represent the volume of each layer depending on the real-time parameter control value. Listen how the soundtrack changes as we increase the heart rate value. The video game soundtrack uses a different method. Instead of multiple layers playing at once, I've broken a complete soundtrack into 16 musical segments, each one increasing in intensity and musical tempo. When the music reaches the end of an 8-bar segment, it will use the real-time parameter control value to dictate which of the segments to play next. Listen how the soundtrack changes as I increase the heart rate value. After linking Wise and Unity, everything works. The soundtrack successfully increases in intensity based upon how scared the users are, by measuring heart rate in real time. And that's it! I hope you found it interesting. I've been Lewis Thompson, and thanks for watching.